Uphold the law.
Arms embargo now. Uphold the law. Arms embargo now. Uphold the law. Arms embargo now. Uphold the law. Arms embargo now. Uphold the law. Arms embargo now. Uphold the law. Arms embargo now. Uphold the law. Arms embargo now. Uphold the law. Ceasefire 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 now. Uphold the law.
Yeah. All right.
This guy.
I'm not.
Okay. Yeah.
Where's the guy?
My phone is.
Gather around, friends. Gather around.
Uphold the law. Arms embargo now. 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 Uphold the law. Arms embargo now.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thanks, everyone, for being here. My name is Kai Newkirk. I'm a co-chair of our Arizona Democratic Party Progressive Caucus and a founder of For All. And I'm here today because I believe in the rule of law, and I believe that all people are indeed endowed with inalienable human rights. And I want to be part of a country that respects that. And we're marking today an important date, an important deadline. It's 30 days now from when the Biden administration put out a letter to the Israeli government saying that they had to allow humanitarian aid in, that they had to reduce civilian casualties in Gaza, or else we would be required by U.S. law to suspend military aid and to stop arming Israel. And we are here today to note that those steps have not been taken.
Shame!
And that our laws are being violated. And that there is no choice now, if we are to be true to this principle of rule of law, there is no choice now but to uphold the law and to enact an arms embargo on Israel, to impose a ceasefire in Gaza and stop this killing. And we're here to say today to President Biden, honor your word, keep your promise, uphold the rule of law, enact an arms embargo now.
Arms embargo now. Uphold the law. Arms embargo now. Uphold the law. Arms embargo now. Uphold the law. Arms embargo now.
We have a few people here that can speak very powerfully to this question, because they were working as part of the Biden administration or our government, and they were charged with seeing that our laws are upheld in terms of this policy, and they resigned in protest, made a great sacrifice to ensure that that happened. So we want to give them an opportunity to speak.
Arms embargo now. Arms embargo now.
At this time, we feel this is an emergency, and we are waiting for someone to come to the
Uphold the
administration.
law. Arms embargo now. Uphold the 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 law. Arms embargo now.
I want to invite one of the folks who made this sacrifice and resigned in principle, Lily Greenberg, called to come and address us. Thank you so much.
Yay! Lily Greenberg for president.
Lily!
Try that, because there is a lot of...
Yeah.
Sorry.
If you don't mind, I'll hold it for you.
How's this? All good?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not used to the bullhorn.
I can also detach it.
Yeah, honestly, that would be great.
Yeah, limited time.
Here to help.
Hey everyone.
Close to your mouth.
So honored to be here with you all. For those who don't know me, my name is Lily Grimberg Call. I was a political appointee in the Biden administration at the Department of Interior, and on May 15th of this year, I became the first Jewish political appointee to resign publicly in protest of President Biden's unconditional support for Israel's genocide in Gaza. Everyone here is here now because we are up against a deadline to withhold arms for Israel because they are because Israel is violating our own laws, and the administration in the White House that now at this point, what do we have to lose anymore? They are choosing to continue violating U.S. and international laws to send Israel weapons as they are committing war crimes against the Palestinians, documented over the last year and 76 years before then. Some of my other former colleagues folks who, Stacy is here joining us, who actually is someone who worked on this every single day, and I'm going to let her talk a little bit more about the details. But what I want to say, joining this as a Jewish person, is that it is deeply important to me that we honor the value of every single life, and that obviously includes Palestinian rights. Yes. And an arms embargo is the logical next step. It is not even something crazy to ask for. An arms embargo would be the natural follow to following U.S. laws.
Yes.
Follow the law!
Yes.
An arms embargo is what we need immediately, yesterday, to save Palestinian lives and, of course, to save and protect Israeli and Jewish lives. Because Jewish safety and Palestinian freedom are inextricably linked.
Yes.
There is no world where Jewish safety will be secured on the backs of Palestinian freedom and Palestinian dignity and life, and we have to reject that lie. And I resigned in large part because I felt that the administration and the president himself was using my community's pain and suffering and trauma as justification to pay for and fund a genocide of another people. And I refuse to allow my community to become the face of the American war machine, because that puts us in danger too. My safety and Palestinian safety are connected. My safety and Palestinian safety must be fought for hand in hand. At this point, this administration has nothing more to lose. I don't understand why they're not going to, listen to the majority of the American people and the majority of Democrats. We were told in the build-up to the election that 60 to 70% of Democratic voters supported a ceasefire and an arms embargo. And now we are all going to suffer at the hands of a second Trump administration because the people in power were too cowardly to follow our own laws and to listen to the majority of the American people.
Tell it.
And the people in Palestine, my friends in Ramallah who called me right after the election and said, is this the end of us? Is this the end of Palestine? Those people are going to suffer so much more than anyone in the White House, so much more than Democratic consultants and strategists and Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. Those are the people who are going to suffer, and the most vulnerable people here at home. And I'm devastated that Joe Biden would rather protect Israeli white right-wing government leaders, that they would rather protect, I don't even know what at this point, what they're protecting, the weapons manufacturers, right, the status quo, then do what is necessary to actually protect American democracy and American people.
Yes.
Thank you, Lily.
Arms embargo now! Uphold the law! 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 Arms embargo now!
I want to give an opportunity to another one of the courageous and principled resignees who are embodying the spirit of true public service that we're calling on President Biden to show. You can't just do the right thing when it's easy. You can't just uphold the law when it's convenient. The real test is to do it when it's difficult. The real test of our fidelity to principles is to uphold them when it requires sacrifice. And that's the spirit that's embodied in these folks here, and that's the spirit we're calling on President Biden to finally show, to do the right thing now. And so I want to ask and welcome and thank Stacy Gilbert. She's still here? Okay, sorry. Thank you, Stacy, who resigned from the State Department. We love you. We thank you.
All right, Stacy.
So, back in May, the State Department and DOD were tasked by the White House.
Close to your mouth.
Back in May, the White House tasked the State Department and DOD with a report that was supposed to determine two things: whether a country is using our weapons in violation of international humanitarian law and whether they are blocking humanitarian assistance. That report was called National Security Memo 20. That memo, I was one of the people working on that, a subject matter expert in humanitarian affairs for over 20 years at the State Department. At the end of April, subject matter experts were removed from that report and it was drafted. I was told I would find out what was in that report when it was released. When the report came out on May 10th, I read it, I was shocked. It was actually the first time the U.S. government admitted that Israel is likely using U.S. weapons in violation of international humanitarian law, also called the law of war. But then it went on to say, but we have determined that Israel is not blocking humanitarian assistance. Now, why would they do that? They had to do that because admitting that a country is blocking humanitarian assistance triggers another law that should automatically suspend weapons sales. And unfortunately, so after that report came out, I resigned. Unfortunately, we're in a situation again. Secretary Blinken very generously gave Israel an extra 30 days to starve people. That deadline was today, and the spokesperson of the State Department, the deputy spokesperson, just finished a briefing about a little over an hour ago, and they determined yet again that Israel is not violating international humanitarian law and not blocking humanitarian law. Coincidentally, humanitarian organizations operating on the ground in Gaza released a report this morning documenting the 19 requirements the State Department included in the letter to Israel 30 days ago and graded them on those. Israel failed 15 out of the 19 requirements. And actually, Ved Patel, Deputy State Department spokesperson, admitted on the podium that one of the requirements in the State Department's letter to Israel 30 days ago was that a minimum 350 trucks of aid must be allowed in per day. Ved Patel admitted at the podium just over an hour ago that between November 1st and November 9th, 9 days, Israel had allowed in a total of 404 trucks. A total over 9 days. But that apparently qualifies as passing, that Israel is not blocking humanitarian assistance according to the State Department. I am so deeply ashamed of the State Department. I am deeply ashamed. I just want to say that this administration forfeits any right to criticize the following administration for violations of law, distorting the facts, denying the facts. They forfeit the right to criticize the Trump administration for doing the very same things they are doing now.
That's right.
Thank you, Stacy. Thank you, Stacy. Thank you for your sacrifice, for your courage, for your truth.
Thank you.
Do you have enough time to
Arms embargo now!
Arms embargo now.
Arms embargo now! Uphold the law!
Uphold the law.
Arms embargo now! Uphold the law! 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 Arms embargo now! Uphold the law!
Arms embargo now. Thank you. Thank you. We're honored to have here with us another one of those who resigned in protest in principle from the Biden administration of the federal government. And we want to give her a chance to speak to us and to go deeper into what's at stake here and why we need to do the right thing and why it needs to happen now. Thank you so much, Ana Del Castillo. Thank you for being with us. Let's please welcome her.
Thank you all so much for being here today. Showing up means something because I used to work in this building and I used to walk this path every single day, and it was people like you holding images like this that made me resign from my position, because what we are seeing in Gaza right now, in Lebanon, is absolutely unacceptable and morally wrong. This White House and this president hired me to lead conversations on diversity, equity, and inclusion. How can we talk about diversity, equity, and inclusion when we are funding a genocide?
Ow!
Beloveds, we are tired. We are tired of being here. We are tired of witnessing so much death and so much pain. And so you ask, what is at stake? Every single day that we continue to fund this genocide, every single day that the president and vice president say that they are working around the clock to call for a ceasefire and to end Palestinian suffering, yet the same week we see them signing bills to send billions of dollars in weapons to Palestine. Every single day we see people dying, whether it's from the bombs that we're sending or from starvation. And we can do something. This administration has the opportunity to change its legacy. We have a couple of weeks. It is not over, because every single day that we continue to send bombs and financial support, more people are dying. It is not just about the mothers and children. It is about every single person. It is about Palestinian men. It is about Palestinian young boys. It is about everyone that is dying. And so we will be here standing outside of the White House every single week because it matters. Whether we are a group of 30 or 30,000, we need to be here, and we need to ask this administration to uphold the laws that it demands everyone else uphold.
That's right.
So why make an exception? Why make an exception for Israel? Why not have love and accountability to call those that we care about in to say, we demand that you follow the same laws that we ask everyone else to follow? And I don't know about you all, but when my parents told me about treating people with equity and inclusion, it meant treating everyone the same, not just a select few. So you're not able to hire young, incredible, diverse talent like me and Lily and some of our other incredible colleagues, and then not listen to us when we're at the table demanding that you uphold laws, that you follow the laws you ask us all to listen to. And so thank you so much to the courageous organizers for putting this together, and for you all being here. It means something. We see you, and we ask other people to join us to be courageous. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ana. Thank you. I want to ask one of our friends who's helped to organize this action. And taking this stand with us here today, who came up all the way from Birmingham, Alabama, which has such an important place in our nation's history in the struggle for freedom, for justice, for peace, for all people. Reem, thank you so much. We appreciate you being here with us and sharing your voice. Of course. Please welcome Reem.
Hello, can you hear me? I am a Palestinian American poet from my father's side. My father was born in Nablus in the West Bank and grew up in Kuwait. Currently he lives Jordan, and I am here to read you some poetry that I've written about this horrible genocide. You hear 40,000 or 30,000 or whatever large number, and imagine a straight-lined bar chart, a colored-in brick of pixels, a killed in the New York Times. But that is a brick of blood, and the line of it a crooked, broken back of many children. Your mother's murder 40,000 times over would surely be too much to bear. And yet Gaza must have the weight of its many bloody hearts, brothers, infants, elders, spilling livers, sisters, cousins, aunts, uncles, teens with dreams, and those fantastical younger, mothers, people on its sandy, breathing back. Woo! Now, a second poem.
Thank you.
Their shouts moved clouds high in the sky, but the fingers of those did not move who wear suits and chatter and apparently do nothing else, because their own tears matter more than any child's cry, because children's fists clutch flowers, and it is better to smell the roses than to see the fact that the child's hand is 50 feet from their arm. Thank you for listening. Please end this genocide. Please work to end this genocide, all of you.
Yes.
Not just for me, not for the Palestinian Americans you can see in front of you, but for the Palestinians who are dead, who you cannot see, who are buried under the rubble, who are screaming for you, but you cannot hear them because they are in Palestine right now, and the Israeli media is silencing them, and the Western media is silencing them. Please, fight for them. Thank you.
Thank you.
Stop
Thank you,
funding
Reem.
genocide!
Thank you, Reem. Uphold the law. Arms embargo now. Uphold the law. Arms embargo now. Uphold the law. Arms embargo now.
Uphold the law! Arms embargo now! Uphold the law! Arms embargo now! Uphold the law! Arms embargo now!
Uphold the law. Arms embargo now. 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 Thank you.
Arms embargo now!
Friends, I want to invite another person to come up and say a few words. We are honored here to have with us today a survivor of the Holocaust, Marion Ingram, who is embodying the principle, never again for anyone. Never again for anyone.
For anyone.
And bringing her tremendous credibility and her voice to speak now to stop perhaps the greatest suffering that's unfolding on the earth. People being abandoned from all morality, from all law, from human rights, from the goodness of humankind in a similar way. And so we thank you for being with us. Would you be willing to say a few words? Thank you so much.
Welcome. Welcome. Dankeschön.
Hi, good afternoon. Can you hear me? Also back there, can you hear me?
Hold it right up to your mouth.
Okay. Can you hear me? Yeah.
Gotta push the button. The button. Button. Who have the button? There's a button.
I'm sorry.
Testing. Testing.
Hold it close to your mouth.
You got a button?
Hi again. As you
More
can
engaged.
see, I'm
Okay,
Here
good.
just a little bit.
certainly. My name is Marion Ingram, and I am an activist. I arrived in America just before I turned 17 years of age, and I discovered to my great distress that having escaped Nazi Germany and the horrid anti-Semitic atmosphere in Germany post-war, I arrived in Manhattan and on a student visa. And I learned within the first 2 or 3 weeks that America was not the country of the propaganda that I heard post-war. I was so distressed to discover that in New York City, blacks and Puerto Ricans were discriminated against in all manner, and race discrimination can work. I have been, since my 17 years of age, been an activist for justice, for peace, against isms of all sorts, unless they are for human beings. I have also been at the White House since the 8th or 9th of October last year to protest